What's going on, guys? Angelo here. Welcome back to another video. So today I kind of want to do something a little bit different and kind of just sit down and talk with you guys about why I stopped doing Doordash. A lot of you all kind of were wondering, am I still doing Doordash? Am I still doing Amazon? Both of those are done. I'm going to go ahead and jump right into it and just give you all like the reasonings behind it, just so it kind of just helps everyone out who is doing Doordash or who needs help, just wondering either should you continue doing it yourself and do I think it was worth it or not. So I'm going to try to answer those questions in this video, so I hope you guys do enjoy. I do want to go ahead and talk about today's sponsor, which is Nobody, so let's go ahead and jump right into it. Alright, so one of the main reasons that I stopped doing Doordash was mainly because of the pay per mile that Doordash was giving. You pretty much rely on tips for most of these gig type of jobs like Uber Eats, Grubhub, DoorDash, all that. A lot of people don't understand all that. I know a lot of videos go viral about people how they're making all this money doing DoorDash. Yes, you can in certain areas, and for the most part, it's only on that day that you're making that much. And a lot of times it's also because they give you this top dasher thing when you first start. The pay that DoorDash gives, sometimes it can be $1 something per mile like it should be, and other times it'll just be like 6 miles for $3, and you're just like, what is going on here? Like, you're giving me like 50 something cents per the mile, and they don't realize I have to drive to this person's place. Not only do I have to drive to the person's place, I have to drive to the restaurant, which also takes time. And people just don't factor in those things. So you having to sit at those lights, the lights add an extra probably 5 minutes to your drive, because you're always going to have to deal with lights because you're in one of those heavy populated areas. So when you're in those type of areas, you're going to have to deal with traffic lights. You can't get around that. If you don't have to deal with the traffic lights, you're more than likely going to have to deal with the traffic on the road, because when it's peak time or peak pay and all that, usually that's around when everyone is getting off of work, or if they're not getting off of work, they're headed home from work. So you just have to deal with all this traffic, and it's just not worth the amount of time per pay, and you're hoping that they tip. You're really hoping that that person tips, because you're like, man, DoorDash is only going to give me like $8 for this thing. I've gotten a $25 order before, but I also had to drive about 25 minutes. So it was one of those things, and then you have to drive back the other 25 minutes. So you have to factor that into consideration when you're picking up the order. Another thing is that it just stopped being busy as much in my area. I mean, it's busy, but it's just not like it used to be. In the summer, I know a lot of people said it had died down, but for me in my area, it was super busy because everyone was home, everyone was on summer break, and everyone was out of college. So it was just like, oh great, I can just make all this money. And I remember I had made like $1,000 in 1 week. That was like my first time ever making $1,000 in 1 week. But the only reason that happened was because I also was a top dasher. And again, it was during the summer. Now that everyone's back going to work finally, now that a lot of people are back at work and whatnot, it's a little bit less busy, obviously. And you just kind of have to go during the peak hours, which is like, it's really non-beneficial at that point, because again, time versus money. It's like, yo, I could be doing something else and making the same amount. My thing was I tried to average at least like $20 per hour. But I don't recommend you look at it like per hour. Just look at it like, how much do I want to make today? Do I want to make 150? Because if you want to make 150 today, you're going to have to wake up a little bit earlier, and you're also going to have to stay out a little bit later to make sure you get that money. The restaurants take forever. You have to learn the restaurants. Nobody tells you this. You have to learn the restaurant that you want to go to the most, because if you don't, I promise you, you're going to sit there for 15 to 20 minutes waiting for that person's order. Again, DoorDash doesn't pay you for your wait time that you're at the restaurant. Y'all got to realize that. DoorDash doesn't pay you for anything besides the miles. After that, they're like, you're on your own. Hopefully they tip. It's really like a hope they tip type of thing. That's what this job is. It's really like a, man, I hope they tip. So yeah, a lot of the restaurants, I'll go ahead and name a couple, because I'm pretty sure everyone's going to agree with me on this, but McDonald's, especially when it's at nighttime, they usually close the lobby early because they're short staffed. That's the trendy thing now, is that every place is just short staffed. And you have to deal with that as a DoorDasher. You're going to have to deal with that, because if they're busy at the restaurant, you also have to remember people are also ordering online food and going to pick up that food. So they have to make that order too on top of the DoorDash orders that are popping in every so often. Most of the time, DoorDashers usually get the short end of a stick when it comes to getting the order done the quickest, unless it's like a Mr. Beast type of place or like Tyga Bites or something. Another place is Buffalo Wild Wings. I gave them so many chances because DoorDash usually tries to give you a lot more, and I think they know that this place just sucks at doing mobile orders. The last time I went there, it was my last time, and I even said that to myself. I said, I am not going back here anymore. The last time I went to Buffalo Wild Wings, I was there for about 30 minutes because they didn't even start the order. They were so behind. There was already people waiting over an hour. And in those situations, I highly recommend you to go ahead and just unassign the order. I know it may bring your point, it may bring your like rate down, but that little 1.1 of your rate going down, take that versus you sitting there for 30 minutes and you're more than likely not going to get a tip from that person. And even if you do get a tip, it's still not going to be worth your time. You got to realize that, guys. It's time versus money, no matter what. Granted, I have had times where people have given me a nice amount of tip, maybe like $20, $50, and I've even got a $100 tip. But those are very rare. I don't want y'all to think that that happens often, because it does not. It's very rare for that to happen. Maybe you might be in an area that really does like a tip. For the most part, most of the areas that most people are in, they're not tipping crazy like that. A lot of these people want the free delivery because they're promoting free delivery on the app. So they're like, why in the world would I even tip if they're just giving me free delivery? I mean, think about it. That's why I'm like, I will go pick up my food any day of the week. I don't mind picking up my food. I don't have a problem going in my car and going to pick up food. But I get it if you have an injury or something. It makes sense why you use DoorDash, Uber Eats, and etc. The last place, oh man, I've given them too many chances, is Chipotle. It doesn't even make sense, guys. Like, it just doesn't make sense. They simply just don't care. Like, there's so many people doing online orders. There's so many people coming inside the restaurant to just place an order. It's like, bro, DoorDash just gets the short end of the stick always. Even for Grubhub, everyone, for food delivery, you get the short end of the stick when it comes to Chipotle. I've had a couple times where the order was ready and it just kept getting worse and worse and worse. So those three places, Buffalo Wild Wings, Chipotle, and McDonald's. Popeyes is an honorable mention, and let's see, one other one. Oh, Chick-fil-A. Lately, a lot of times they're pretty good, but some days when they're off or they're super busy, again, it's kind of like your last place when it comes to who's getting the order first. You almost always, it's going to be drive-through, so you can't really do anything about that. People are coming in the drive-through. They're not going to stop coming in the drive-through. So drive-through is always going to be priority, especially, and I've worked in fast food. Drive-through is the priority for the most part. Then you have the people dining in. You can't have them waiting forever for food. And then you have the mobile orders for people just coming in to get their food. Then it's you. Then it's DoorDash, Uber Eats, all the food delivery places. So the last reason that I really stopped doing DoorDash was mainly because of the wear and tear on the vehicle. It's just like they have little programs available for you to, try and help you out for your maintenance on your car. But yeah, it's just not worth it. It's just, you're driving around and a lot of people's driveways are really crazy. Some of the roads you're going on are wild. Then you're sitting in traffic. If you don't have a hybrid vehicle, your car is just on. It's just going to be on like a taxi. That puts a lot of stress on the vehicle and you're just burning gas. You're just burning gas. But yeah, that's really the reasons why I kind of stopped. I want to know what you all think in the comment section below. I really want to hear what the people are who are doing food delivery, if they're still doing it or if they're about to stop or why they stopped. If they were some of the reasons that I thought. If you had some reasons that I didn't say, please let me know in the comment section below. I'd really love to hear them. Thank you all for watching once again. Please enable push notifications so you can stay up to date with everything that's happening on the channel. Join that O Squad. All you have to do is click that subscribe button. Until next time, peace out.